Hi everyone! Welcome to my YouTube channel, but also day 14 of Art by Marlene May Flower challenge. Today's topic is Woodlands, so I will be creating a nice foresty scene, and I hope you will enjoy my process. For this page I decided to use Kraft paper refill for the handy size journal, but also two lovely stamp sets from the mixed up collection. They are called Toadstool and Autumn Flourish. This time I didn't feel like doing a lot of fussy cutting, so I will be stamping directly on my paper. But as you know, sometimes these elements overlap, so to fix that I will be using some masking tape. As you will see, at start I was silly, and to mask my first mushroom I didn't use masking tape, just a simple paper, but later I came to my senses, and for the rest of the elements I will be using a real masking tape. When all of the elements were masked, I decided to start coloring my background, and for that I will be using Distress Oxide inks and Studio Light ink blending brushes. On the lower portion of my paper I used darker shades of green, while towards the upper portion I used brighter. Also upper left corner I left without color at all. I wanted my page to be dominated by some earthy tones to match better today's topic of woodlands. After the background was done, I started doing some stamping. In this case, I decided to work mostly with some silhouette stamps, as I wanted to give a feeling of depth to my image. I was mixing darker and brighter shades. Also, I used some green colors, but also dark blue, almost black shades as well. Here I added even some brown to give it all a bit of variety. Another tip when building depth on your project is to use first, second, but even sometimes third generation of stamping. Now, with the stamping being done, I decided to darken the lower edge of my paper using one of the same inks which I used for the stamping so far. And now time to remove the masking tape. That is always somehow so satisfying for me. Now it was time for coloring, and I decided to use Prismacolor pencils. This is a long process where I am switching between darker and brighter shades, but I thought once for a change to show you how it goes. And since this will be lasting for a couple of minutes, I thought to use this opportunity to tell you a couple of things about me. So, as many of you might have noticed, I am not a native English speaker. I was born in Croatia, but moved here to Hungary when I met my husband. Now I live here with our 2 children, 2 cats and a dog. A bit crazy, I know. Anyway, when I just came to Hungary, I didn't know the language, didn't have any friends here, so I found myself a hobby. It started with decoupage, but soon it just wasn't enough somehow. So after a while, thanks to a couple of lovely crafty ladies and their inspiring YouTube tutorials, I got dragged into the mixed media world. And in time, bit by bit, I got somewhat good at it. After some time, I got really lucky when Marlene noticed my work and decided to give me a chance, which kind of changed it all for me. She invited me to be a part of her amazing design team, and with that, she opened the door to a whole new world for me. World of colors, imagination, craftiness, friends and beauty. Anyway, I forgot to tell, I have graduated medicine back at home, but here in Hungary it's hard to get a job with it since language is still somewhat of an obstacle, and to be honest, I realized that's not something I really like doing. And after being in Marlene's team for a while, an idea, or you can call it a dream, kind of formed. A dream that I turned something that I really enjoy doing, something that really makes me happy, my hobby, into a job. In time, I made a couple of steps in that directions, but if you wish, you could really help me too. I mean, you are already helping me just by watching this video, but if you have a minute to spare, it would mean a world to me if you would subscribe to my channel, like any video that you found inspiring, leave me a comment, or share some video with your friends if you think they might enjoy it too. Anyway, I want to tell you that I really appreciate the support that you are already giving me. It really means a lot. But now time to go back to my project. As you can see, I made some progress coloring, but meanwhile I always try to reinforce my black outlines because just helps your image pop. After the coloring was done, it was time to go back to my background and help my images blend in. That's why I was trying to use neo colors to add some shading, but also some highlights. One tip to help you blend in your neo colors a bit better, in case you use your finger for blending like I do, is to wet your finger a bit. In this case, for that I use just a wet wipe to have just a bit of moisture on my finger. As you can see, I was trying to use different colors for making grasses, shadows, for just giving depth to my project. Oh, and while I'm doing this, it just came to my mind to remind you that full list of supplies can be found in the description area down below. And one of the last steps for my pages that I usually tend to do is adding a quote. For today's sentiment, I was inspired by May Flower challenge topic, Woodlands, but I decided to alter it a bit. Now, since I didn't have ready-to-use sentiment, I decided to improvise a bit and use these letter stickers from Art by Marlene for the first part of the sentiment, but for the second one, I will use a text stamp from the Unicorn Dream stamp set. As it contains multiple words, I just masked the area which I didn't want and stamped the rest. And that's it for this project, but if you want to see another 2 projects that I did for the May Flower challenge, I will leave you the links at the end of my video. Also, don't forget to post your own creations in the Art by Marlene Creatives Facebook group. Thank you for watching. Bye!